राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम ओम श्री राम जय जय Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Very often we ask ourselves, we have been trying to follow the teachings of our masters, trying to remember him through chanting of his name as much as possible. And we expect that the sense of individuality should get more and more refined. In the sense, it will become more and more conscious of the presence of the Almighty within. Whenever we are in a sattvic thought, sattvic company, we get a glimpse of all these things. But the moment we start interacting with the world outside, we find it difficult to keep up the same equilibrium. No? Then we start seeing from the individual level. When we are not interacting with anybody, we try to raise ourselves from the individual level to a higher level. But the moment we come in contact with somebody, some object, some individual, some situation, immediately, we start dealing with it from the level of the individual. This we have been seeing in our life. We go to a Mahatma, we go to an ashram, we go to a temple, we attend to a satsang program. We all derive an inexplicable joy during that period. And at times we make certain resolves also. But the moment we are back to our usual run of life, there seems to be a break. We have to now start analyzing. Papa will say you have not kept a constant God remembrance. He did it because he got stabilized. Somehow or other he did not want us to take it up when we were young. He allowed us to gather so many vasanas. And when the body becomes old, if we quantify the vasanas on one side and our urge to remember him on the other side, we find it will be like this. This is a practical problem we are all facing. There are so many methods I have suggested to offset this, what you call this, inequality, insufficiency, inadequacy. Because nobody will be able to exclusively sit with Ram Nam. So we have to pray to him. During my non-chanting time, give me something by which I don't lose my balance. Here is an article by Gotavarikar Maharaj. Let us see whether it has got any clue for our present problem. He says, there is no sadhana so subtle and yet so gross as now. Gross and subtle. One who wants to say anything most earnestly says, I tell you from the bottom of my heart, So Nama too should be taken from the bottom of the heart. Because all desires spring from there, navel. When it is made the seat of Nama, it will gradually dislodge desire and totally extinguish in the end. Nama should be practiced not superficially or casually, but sincerely, insistently. Let us not worry as to how we shall respond to sensuous pleasures when all desires become extinct. It is easy to realize God when we realize His omnipotence. He is a saint who has realized God. When we go to a town, we inquire about the local gentry and the mayor. We can meet them because the residents can point them out. The Supreme Being, however, is without form, without attributes. How can we reach Him? How can we meet Him? Then, do we always take things which are not perceptible to be unreal? Our yearning for God is a yearning for the perfection that is God. This can be quelled only by attaining Him. Every being has this fundamental yearning. Only it is misdirected. Because it is directed to the satisfaction of sensuous pleasures, which are only evanescent, it never really comes to fruition. Because birth itself is a result of desire. It is desire that we yearn to satisfy. To withdraw our yearning from there, direct it to God, it is in this that man's peculiar competence lies. What can I do to attain God? This is the yearning that every human should entertain, else he has failed in his special mission and opportunity. All sadhanas aim at creating this longing. Where genuine longing is found, God extends His helping hand. There is no sorrow, no pain in the world that can ever overshadow the bliss that is God. Everybody hankers after bliss because it is His nature, His very essence. We should try to inculcate its sweetness in ourselves by study and practice. It may be asked, if I spring from God, what is the need for such study? The need arises because we have forgotten our noble origin. Because God is all love, let us strive to fill our heart with love. Papa used to often say, which we are not very clear, no? Because the moment you think about milk, all the attributes come. Whiteness, this and that. But there we have tasted or seen the milk. It is an object. So it is easy to bring the attributes. Here we have not tasted. Though we are the milk, how can the milk taste itself? No? That we should keep on bringing this idea. If we still think that he is an object, very difficult. Any object, of course, either I have directly tasted or somebody can tell us, those who have tasted. And we believe it because it is tangible, palpable at some point of time to somebody. Here it is not like that. It is not palpable. It is not tangible. It is not an object. So when Papa says you should think about the attributes of God, so much of inward journey should take place. And in his case it was possible. God made it in such a way that he was forced to think about it. And made to get stabilized in it the first 2 years. That is why nowadays he is reminding us, go to the state where we started. Never go to the state where we ended. Because if you want to travel with us, you must start from where we have started. So before taking to Ram Nam, what did he do? Even after taking Ram Nam, are we doing it? How can we do it? So here he has given one more clue, perfection. First of all, it should not be practiced superficially, casually. That means the mind should go along with that. That means my love should be there, then only the mind will go along with that. I develop this love when I see a Mahatma. How he has scaled the heights. His facial, his body language, his approach to men and matters, his over and embracing love, zero me to me, quality care and concern for others, simple living habits. And not losing the equilibrium even in trying moments. These are all the something which attract us to it. So then we start thinking. We normally attribute it to a person and then we come back. So it will not be with us. But now we start thinking. If God has given me to appreciate those things, unless we have that, how will I appreciate? So, it is there. I was not aware. All these things which I attribute to a Mahatma, it is there in every one of us. And that is God. Then we start thinking, what is the opposite? There is no opposite. We are trying to accept everything as God. So the problem with us was, while chanting, we have a concept. And when we deal with men and matters, the concept changes. Suppose we now start thinking, you are the one you are making me to chant. You are the one who make me to identify through my intellect what is sattvic, what is good for my spiritual journey, spiritual progress. Okay. Then later on when you make me to deal with men and matters, I should equally know, yes, at one level that is the one. At another level he is also in this form. He is there in the form of controversies, he is there in the form of conflicts, he is there in the form of everything. That stage I should reach. In 15th chapter, he says this, At the beginning of the sloka, there he says, Matta Smritijnanam Apohanancha. Suddenly we become aware, he is knowledge, he is remembrance, he is also forgetfulness. Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishtam. I am seated in everybody's heart. Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishtam. So he starts explaining. So then when we start contemplating, correct. Whenever repeatedly I do something, it becomes knowledge, technical, know-how, skill, whatever you call it, expertise. Knowingly, consciously, when I repeat so many things. It becomes a part of me, which I call it as knowledge or wisdom. And then at the right time I should remember that, So the remembrance also is He. And every time I should not remember everything. Then I will not be able to move in the life. So I should also get forgetfulness. This will give us, behind conflicts, behind every adversity, behind everything that is not advisable, that is not palatable, that is not conducive, also is He. Sarvasya chaham grisanyavishtam mattasmridjnanam apohanam yadeha vedi. It's a beautiful sloka. It opens up so many of our. It is not the sloka meaning. So He suddenly makes us aware. When we are talking about Ayodhya and the birds, it is there. In the earth I enter and bless it with this. So now let us try, disease will be there, then only the herbs, medicinal plants will work. I should be able to accept, when I accept that the medicinal plants are a gift of Him, I should equally accept that the disease also is His. So ultimately it zeroes to what? We have to train our mind to accept everything. And Nama should enable us to do that. So while chanting Nama, the only thing we are asking is, enable me to accept you as you are, in the form of varied manifestations in me and outside me, so that I don't feel disconnected with you at any time. The problem is now I feel I get connected with you at a particular time, in a particular place, in a particular situation. Then I feel disconnected with you when I am not. This is the greatest inner struggle all spiritual aspirants pass through. So we go through these and then find, oh, correct. When he says, I am there in the form of Aushadha, Sasya, herbal plants, then immediately, why should he create that? Because he has also created disease. Now we understand how Nisargadatta Maharaj said, I am also the pain. So ultimately the acceptance of it, when Papa said, we were literally muttering, that's all. Whatever is happening by God's will, and whatever is happening for my ultimate good. We never took it seriously. So the exert yourself to remember now. This is what Maharaj here says. From the tiniest to the grossest. Grossest means, the Mahatmas, temples, this Shastras, all are gross. Subtlest means, tiniest means all these things. You should take from the bottom of the heart, because all desires spring from there. It is made the seat of Nama. It will gradually dislodge desire and totally extinguish it in the end. Nama should be practiced not superficially, casually, but sincerely, insistently. Let us not worry as to how we shall respond to sensuous pleasures when all desire becomes extinct. There is no sadhana so subtle and yet so gross as Nama. That is why Papa keeps on telling that no, before you start, you must have the right concept of God. And prior to his taking of the name, God made it very clear to him. That is why we see in every chapter of Inquest of God, this comes out in different forms. When we say we take up IQG, Inquest of God, and for an in-depth study, what do we mean? We are trying to see these points there, and we are trying to see what we are doing now, and how we can slowly bring this dimension. And for that we have to do some refinement, some refining process in our chanting. So we pray to Him. The mind is not used to it. So when we chant, please, why don't you give me that feeling? That you are the reality, When you said indwelling reality, we did not understand. Reality means that is the truth. You are the truth that is everywhere. We want to impose certain things and understand it as the truth. Whereas the truth doesn't require any other thing. So when we see a plant, when we see a insect, when we see the Mother Earth, when we see the sky, I must see you. You have written in that poem, I find him everywhere. Still that is at the superficial level. I don't take it seriously. If we go through Papa's poems, he brings it out beautifully so that the concept of God becomes clearer and clearer. Once in a way we have to go through that. Poem is it won't be much. In one poem he brings out all the varied objects in which he finds God. And in another poem he looks within himself and then identifies everything as form of God. This will give us some clues. And chanting, so that means then chanting will become more and more effective. Because we are chanting the name of one who is with us, within us. The support, the Aadhar, bedrock. So when we deal with men and matters, when we get disconnected with the concept of God, because where we immediately come down to the individual level, individual relationship, individual likes and dislikes, individual priorities, individual preferences, that way, that has a dominance. So during when we are away, when we are sitting, when we are doing nama, when we are thinking about a Mahatma, when we go through a particular portion of a Shastra, we try to elevate ourselves, put ourselves on a higher level. There the individual level does not trouble us much. But when we come down And this is more, out of 16 hours, 1 hour maybe, 1 hour at best maybe the other one. Rest of the 15 hours we are dealing with men and matters. So how much effort we have to make if we have to keep up the same equilibrium during the non-chanting time? Yes, so that means during the chanting time I should make it more and more intense, the impact of which will remain with me during the non-chanting time. You lost your net connection. Trying to reconnect. It come. Having come up to this now, probably he shows, don't worry, if you are unable to keep up this, when you start plunging deep into the objects with which you come in contact with, you react. And try to see me there. In the form of perfection, in the form of love, in the form of dedication, in the form of gratitude, as much as possible. You may fail, you may forget, don't worry. As much as possible. And this will definitely help us. And God in His own way will make us to withdraw from the field which does not help us. Seemingly, though every situation is given by Him, certain situations do not seem to be helping me. So He gives him, for some reason I cannot accept. He makes me to go through that experience and then makes me feel I am not comfortable with it. He allows me to withdraw, put myself in another situation. But in both places I must be able to see Him. I was the other day sharing, one touching incident that had happened many years ago, how the father reacted to that incident. For the sake of newcomers, we will again repeat. One person, with Sattvic character, he was the steward of a hospital, government hospital in Bangalore. It must have been in 30s or 40s. Quite a big family. He was finding it extremely difficult to make both ends meet with his salary. An honest, upright man, but very lovable person. On those days, even to go to the school, you have to pay fees. So his son, who was studying in 7th or 8th, on those days it was not 7th or 8th, 5th form, 6th form, they say. 7th form. So then he came and told his father, he was about to go to the office, today they will remove me from the rolls because I have not paid the fees for the past 2-3 months. So, you come to office. He went along with his father. Father immediately borrowed 5 rupees from 2-3 people, put together 5 rupees and gave it to him so that he was asked to go and pay the fees. After an hour or so, the boy came back with a gloomy face. He was in the midst of his duties. We remember still that person, how when he explained to us, he was in tears. He was in At that time he was 60 years, 65 years old. He was recollecting, the son. He was in tears. He said, father was in the midst of hectic duties. So when I went and stood before him, he looked at, what happened? I did something which I should not have done. What did you do? When I took 5 rupees from you, after a few steps I saw somebody playing, If you put 25 paise, you will get 50 paise, some way Raja way, I don't know how to translate that in English. It is a play, gambling. So this boy was not inclined to get into this gambling. He said, if I get more 10 rupees, then I will not ask you for next month's lease. But in the process, he lost everything. He had borrowed 5 rupees. The father did not utter anything. He went to, again friends, raised his 5 rupees. He gave him, patted on his back, without making any comment. When he was explaining to me, he said, father taught me a great lesson. First lesson is that we should be truthful. Second lesson is we should not lose our equilibrium, because he could understand my position. He did not view it from his level. He was not preoccupied with his commitment and encumbrance. The quality, care and concern for me was writ large on his mind. So when later on he said, when the colleague said, you are spoiling the child, you should have given him half a dozen beatings. When he was given 5 rupees, he should go straight and remit the money. Tomorrow he may do something else. But his father said, he did not hide anything. He did it with a purpose to augment more money so that he doesn't have to trouble me. It got misfired. Probably God wanted him to make him to through the experience so that he will not commit that mistake. And he said, from that day, I have never heard, because the father is there with me in the form of his equilibrium. Later on, when we took up Bhagavad Gita, he says, what is yoga? Samatvam yoga muchyate. Evenness of mind is called yoga. Yoga means union with God. So the adversities, now when we think about it, the adversities are also needed, conflicts are needed, inequalities are needed, inadequacies are needed, insufficiencies are needed, then only we will be able to refine ourselves. This will all enable us to accept everything as they are. Not specifying that this is godly and this is ungodly. And so long as this specification dominates in our mind, it will be very difficult for us to proceed. Because the moment we interact with others, we come down at the individual level, and all these things will be there. Inequality will be there, insufficiency will be there, inadequacy will be there, exploitation will be, everything will be there. You cannot avoid. That is his play. These are some of the clues Papa is giving us. So Nama should enable me to accept. So I chant Ram Nam. I only want this to accept everything as you are. Not everything you want, to accept only certain things that you are, certain things you are not. When I chant and when I am in it, I think I am moving towards you. When I don't chant and when I am involved in it, I think I am moving away from you. That feeling I should be able to get over. Whether I am chanting or not chanting, everything is your domain. There is no domain which is not yours. Kindly make me aware of this. With this bhavana we chant. When he says, Nama should be practiced not superficially, casually, but sincerely, insistently. Because I am his child, he will not do anything bad for me. I owe my origin to him. I have come from him. So he will not do anything that will be detrimental to my progress. This faith, For reasons which I don't know, he has sent me over here. And later on, at a point of time, he slowly started revealing that I am here only to know that I am fulfilling his mission through me. And whenever I fail or forget by bringing my small self, I become miserable. Again he comes to my rescue through satsang, through nama, through bhajan, through swadhyaya. Then I am again on the rails. Again I get derailed. Again he comes to my rescue. But now I know that he will not leave me. So these are some of the ways by which we can slowly get ourselves stabilized in his constant moments. So we all pray to him now. You are slowly unfolding everything, placing before me. Enable me to hold on to this revelation. Let it not stop with this session. Let me be able to hold on to this sublime truth. The very word reality, when we say the indwelling reality, that means what is truth only comes out in the form of reality. There is no particular suffix or prefix for this. Everything. The so-called unreal is also, in Malayalam there is a poem by a great saint, Jagat Guru, Sri Narayana Guru. He says, Niyallu Mayayim Mayaviyam Mayavinodhanam Maye Neekumariyam. You are the one who makes me unaware of your presence. You are the one who makes me to feel that Mayavi, keeps on changing the dress, Deceptor, okay. And finally, Niyallu Maye Neekumariyam. Finally, you are the one who makes me to remove, who enables me to remove this veil of ignorance. Previously, when we were chanting, it was nice to hear. But now, you see the depth, in depth. Niyallu Srishtiyum Srishtavayadum Srishtijaravum Srishtikkulla Samagriyayadum. You are the creation. You are also the articles for creation. Now, this is a book. It's a creation. But behind this, so many things are necessary to make it as a book. That also are you. Niyallu Srishtiyum Srishtijaravum Srishtikkulla Samagriyayadum. So like that, in simple words, they have said, we did not understand. We were repeating it. We find something is there. We were not going deep into it. So today Maharaj says, go deep into it. Let it not be a casual one. Let it not be a superficial one. Anything we go deep behind it. And in quest of God, through these 30 or 35 anecdotes, Papa is bringing out this. He is bringing out the truth through anecdotes. All these things. Whatever we want to learn, he has filled it in the quest of God. So we pray to him every now and then. That is why we nowadays call it as a manual of life. It gives us what is needed for us in our workaday life. So let us all take the maximum advantage of it, of seeing him. Tomorrow we will try to read a few poems, we forget every day. So that poem, he places before us something about the inner reality, something about the outer reality. That will not help us because none of us are in a position to keep up this chanting throughout to remember him. It is a very important point. In all objects, how does he bring this? So let us all try our level best. Hari Om. ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। 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 ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।